going to be the instructor of this complete series, and I'm having around a decade of experience in Java programming, and I'm going to explain all the concepts and all the programmings and structures, the design that I have come across in my career in this series of tutorial. And if you're not aware of any programming knowledge, or if you are a layman and if you want to learn Java programming from the basics, and this is the right place for you, where I'm going to explain you guys from basics like what is string, what is class, what is objects. From there, I'm going to drive you guys to an intermediate sections like collections, threadings, multi-threading concepts, and then I am also going to drive you guys to the advanced topics like serialization, synchronizations, and various other design patterns that you can use to make yourself an advanced software professional. So this tutorial is going to help guys like who is in the high schools and those who are in college and universities pursuing their degrees, and they want to come into a software career. So these kind of knowledges which I am going to explain in this series would help you guys to get through the interview, and also you can call yourself an advanced programming professional. So before getting into the topic in this tutorial, one thing I just want to keep you posted is this series is going to be bit practical. So whenever I post some videos in this series, try to grab the knowledge in this video and try to do it in practical in your mission so that you will attain that knowledge. And once again, if you're not having any programming basics or any knowledge about the programming itself, it is the right place for you guys. So don't worry about it. I'm going to start from basics to the advanced. So at the end of watching all the videos in this series, you can make yourself as a advanced software professional in Java. So let me get into the topics. So in this introduction tutorial, what we are going to see is about Java, like the five questions that would be raised in our mind, like what, why, how, where, and when. So whenever you're getting into an interview, even in Java programming, if they are asking some questions, so all the questions would start from here. So people may ask like what is Java, or all these five questions over here. This is where it is going to start the questions on Java. And based on how you are explaining bit better, they will examine your knowledge in Java. So hence these five questions are very much necessary to know so that you can able to clear the interview well. So at first we will look into what is Java. So Java in general is a name of a town or a city in Indonesia. And James Gosling, the person who invented Java, and they came across a meeting in a place called Java in Indonesia, from where the name Java came into the picture for this particular programming language. So apart from this, what is Java is, it is a programming language. Say for example, what is English? English is a language where I speak so that the other person, whoever hears it, understands it, and they do certain things, right? So Java is nothing but a language which machine understands. So it's a programming language which machine understands and do something. So that is called Java. Java is a programming language. And this particular technology is widely being used. Right now, at this point of the tutorial I'm recording, right, there are around 21 million people who are working as a software developers in Java alone. And I said software developers. In recent times, Java is also used in Selenium and in testing concepts. Over here, the developers alone is using Java is around 21 millions. So that is widely used, and that is why it is having so much fame in programming languages. Say for example, in the world, in this world, English is most commonly spoken. Maybe right now it might be Spanish, and maybe after that Chinese, like that. But Java is such programming languages which is very much common in developers. And hence, if you have 21 million Java developers, imagine how many number of job openings would be there in the market. And that is why Java is very popular among the programming. And if it comes to the software, Java is very much important in it. And over here, I am also going to explain the main important thing in Java, and that would be the most important question that would be asked in any interview. That is nothing but what is JDK, JVM, and JRE. So, what is JDK? JDK is nothing but Java Development Kit. So, if you want to install any gaming in your machine or in your mobile itself, in a Play Store, you want to install some games. So, you would be going to the Play Store and you will be downloading the particular game, right? So, that is nothing but a software. So, Java Development Kit is also a software that you are downloading in your machine to run Java programming. So, Java Development Kit is something like that. It is like something bit huge where you can develop Java programming. So in the upcoming tutorial, I am going to explain you like how to install JDK. So you will be much aware of like what is JDK is all about. And the second is what is JRE. I have not mentioned what is JRE because like it is something like it's a runtime environment. So what is runtime environment? So say for example, if you're if you are cooking something, right? If you are cooking a prawn or something like that, a shrimp, you'll be having a pan, right, where you put oil and put all your prawns and shrimp and cook it. So that particular pan becomes a runtime environment. So please take understand like that. So Java runtime environment is nothing but the place where your Java program is getting executed and it would give certain result. So that is what Java runtime environment is. And I'm also going to explain what is JVM is. JVM is nothing but Java virtual machine. From the name itself, you can understand. Say for example, your computer is a machine, your mobile is one machine, your TV is one machine, like that. JVM is nothing but a Java virtual machine. It is virtual. It is not present in your anywhere in your Java development kit or software. It is a virtual thing that is present where you will be writing your programming language in English that would be converted into a machine understandable code, machine code. So this virtual machine converts the English language code, what you're going to write, to a machine understandable language. So that is called Java virtual machine. And the next thing that we are going to see is which is most importantly asked in any Java interview is what is JDK and whether it is machine dependent or not. So JDK is nothing but Java Development Kit, as I already explained before. It is a kind of a software. So take an example like this. You're downloading a game in your mobile. For an Android mobile, the way you download the software content would be different, and for your iOS, nothing but iPhone device, the software that you're going to download is different, right? You can't download a software for Android and you can install it in iOS. It would throw you some exceptions. So JDK is such thing like that. JDK is a kind of a software where your Java programming can be executed. It is a development kit. So this JDK is machine dependent. For iOS, JDK is different. For Windows, JDK is different. And for Mac, JDK is different. So JDK is machine dependent, and Java virtual machine is there, right? Java virtual machine is nothing but the JVM, and the class code executed in the Java machine code, right? That is independent. Independent in the sense it can execute in any machine. So that is one of the main advantage of Java and why we are using Java. Again, so if you have some programs that is written in Java, your JVM, which is present inside JDK, would convert the English language code into a specific class. And this class, which is understandable for any machine language, this is nothing but the bytecode. This class is nothing but a bytecode. So this code is universal. That means you can put in any machine and that would yield you a result. So JVM executed code is independent and it is cross-platform, whereas JDK is machine dependent. So you have to be clear in this, because whenever as a beginner you're going to an interview, the first question that would be asked is what is JDK, whether the JDK is machine dependent or not. If you failed in this, then your interviewer would think twice to take you in his company. So this is what Java is all about. So we'll get into the next thing, like why we need to use Java. So we need to use Java because it maintains the memory itself. So for example, in any programming, like say for example, take an example of WhatsApp itself. Like if you're downloading a lot of contents from WhatsApp, at one point of a time, it would throw you an exception saying that if your RAM is very minimum, it would throw you some exception saying that hey, you loaded a lot of things and I can't able to load lot of contents from WhatsApp, right? So in Java, it is not like that. So if you are writing a lot of code and if your code is not being used, the memory would automatically get flushed out with the help of GC, which is nothing but the garbage collections, which we are going to see in detail in future. So those kind of advantages is present in Java, and that is why we need to use Java when memory is a bit concern. And it is very easy language where you can would be very in terms of very easy English language where you can write something and it is understandable to the machine. And compared to the other language, Java is more mature. Mature in the sense you can write any code and that code would be more meaningful in English. Like, say, for example, you are using a while loop. You will get to understand, do this stuff till this while content is getting destroyed, like that. So, those are all the advantages and reason why we need to use Java. And whenever you're going to a new version of Java, that is right now it is JDK 14. Whenever I'm recording this tutorial, we are having JDK 14 and JDK 13, JDK 8 also is there. So those particular code which is written for JDK 8 will also be executed in JDK 14, and it is very much backward compatible. And it can also be used cross-platform with the help of JVM. Say for example, right now we are having Windows, Mac, Linux like that. In future, some other operating system comes, even your Java code would be executed in that particular operating system. So it's cross-platform. So those are all the advantages and why we need to use Java answers. These are all the questions. So the next question we will see is how Java is used in the web development. A typical software applications, any software that you are developing would have this structure. You can see the database is the place like where the tables would be present, where it would store the informations. Hibernate is an advanced concept, like it is an ORM tool where a database, each and every table in a database would be mapped to a object. So that is something advanced I will cover in the upcoming tutorials. But over here also Java is used. So after the database layer, so before the presentation layer, so over here this concepts is there, right? This is nothing but the POJO means plain object model, which I will also explain in future. This is a bit advanced to know like how Java is used in web applications. So Java is used everywhere above this database layer. In Hibernate it is used, Spring and Spring Security is being used, services being used, POJO, and JSP also it is used. JSP nothing but like just an HTML page. It is a web page. It is a UI based, but a JSP page will also be converted into a Java, and then it would show you the UI. UI means the web page. And at the left hand side you can see this is presentation. Presentation means whatever you're seeing in the website, right? That is called as a presentation. Service is nothing but the backend business language or what you need to do. Say for example, if you're writing some algorithm, those kind of things would be present in the service. And persistence is nothing but the database layer. If any contents has to be sent to the data table or something like to be stored further, this would be happening. So it would be a bit confusing. So in order to make you feel better, I'll explain in a very layman way. So say for example, if you are having a software called Facebook. In Facebook, you're registering your name and password so that you will have one account, right? So at first what it would do is it would go to the presentation layer. You will put your username and password. Once you click on register, it would go to the service and it would verify. In this service only business logic would be present, where it would verify if the user is already been present, if that particular mail ID is been already used in the Facebook or not. And where it would check, it would talk to the table, which is nothing but the persistence layer, database layer. It would talk to the table and verify this user is already been present or not. If he is present, then it would throw you an exception to the presentation layer UI. And if the user is not present, you will be added into the table and you would say welcome to the Facebook and you have created your account successfully, like that. So this is a layman way of explaining like what is happening in the background. And over here everywhere Java is getting used except in database storing the table. So where the database things are all happening at the database level. So this is how Java is used in any applications. So this is more advanced level. And say for example, if anyone is asking you in an interview like what architecture you worked on, if you put a diagram like this and explain them, then they won't ask you any questions further. They'll think that you are the most advanced, I mean, you are having a very advanced level of knowledge in Java, like that they'll think. So this is how any architecture will work in Java. So next we will see is where is Java application is getting used. Java application is used in lot of places. In Facebook also it is used. In Google, the searching algorithm is based on Java, certain concepts. And if you are using any e-commerce application like Amazon Web Services over there and all, it is used. And when you are making any payment, that time this particular Java language comes into the picture. So all these things, whichever the first point, right? So I'm explaining it in the layman way, like where are all the things that is getting used. So we are going to use Eclipse as an IDE. IDE is nothing but the place where we are going to write the code for Java. Even that is being developed in Java. So IntelliJ is also developed in Java. It's an another IDE. And J2ME is nothing but the messaging services. Say for example, in earlier time and all, you will be having something called a pager, right? Where a message would be sent to another person through pager. So even that comes under the J2ME structure. You can develop your own J2ME apps if you know Java. And the second one is Hadoop and big data technologies. What is big data? Big data is nothing but it's a collection of data. Say for example, if you are going to Google and searching for a decoration for weddings, you will search like that. Automatically somewhere in Facebook you will get to know that a lot of advertisement will come in Facebook saying that you're looking for this wedding, this one. Yeah, it is there over here like that and all. When you go into your news feed, among 10 news feeds, one news feed would be this particular advertisements. So where this advertisement comes, you will be getting exclaimed like, see, I have searched for this in the Google and it is coming over here like that, right? So that is nothing but the big data technologies. Big data uses your data, whatever you're searching, and this data would be used somewhere else in the Facebook or in a search or in an advertisement to show whether some advertisement like whether you're looking for this, it is there like this. So by this way, you will more likely to go into that particular website, right? So that is called big data technologies. And when you're accessing such particular information, it should be very secure and other thing, and that's why Java comes into the picture. I'm explaining everything in bit detail so that you don't get confused, but if you are not getting any concepts, please feel free to ignore that. We will go into the technical details so that you will understand bit more in practical. And later, once you complete this entire series, and if you revisit this particular tutorial, you will get to know like why I have explained these things. And we will also see when to use Java. This is what where to use Java is, like what is big data technologies, and I've also explained about the performance earlier, like memory leakage won't be there. So that is where Java is used, when to use Java and where to use Java. And mostly this is the one like I have to cover at last, because when you're developing an software, you have to know like when to use Java programming, right? So you need to use Java programming when there is lot of business logics involved in it. And say for example in a mobile applications, you have to check lot of things, mainly checking lot of things. Say for example, if you are a user and you are a male and you have to find a female in a matrimony site, so at that time a check would be happening, right? So those kind of logics, business logics and all would come under Java programming. And when it is open source, say for example free to use softwares, at that time security would be a bigger issue. So when you use Java, lot of security constraints would be there, right? So those and all can be overcome while using the Java programming languages. And threading, concurrency for a specific interval of time, you have to keep on put a like through a processor to run some code. And memory is also a big concern at that point of a time. You need to use Java programming language. And if you are developing any app for device, TV device, say for example, you can also have an Amazon app, Facebook app. In your TV, you can have a Netflix app. So these app and all is being developed in Java. That is because it is one time coded, and outside if there is any error, virus, Trojan horse, so those kind of things are there. It should not affect your TV device, right? So in order to be more secure, those TV device softwares are developed in Java, and it is also used in the applet programming, which is bit advanced level. I'll explain in the upcoming tutorials for that. So that's all I have. And if you are not having any questions, please feel free to move to the next tutorial. And if you are having any questions, please post it in the comment sections. I'll be taking a look at it, and I'll be answering your questions as soon as possible. And this is what the introduction about the Java is. And this, except this tutorial, every other tutorial is going to be in practical. And I have explained like what are all the things that needs to be there for Java. And don't worry about it. Once you refer this tutorial, you don't have to refer any other things about Java. So I'm going to cover all the concepts in Java itself. And in the upcoming tutorial, I'll explain you something like how to install JDK and setting up a workspace environment for writing the Java.